Hey everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
We're going to talk about DCeased from Tom Taylor, with art by Trevor Hairsine, Stefano Gaudiano, and Ryan Barreto. This is essentially, for all intents and purposes, DC Zombies.
Wait, didn't they already have that with the Black Lanterns?
Yes, but that was in continuity.
And those were lanterns.
And those were lanterns, and they were technically zombies. They were
Wait.
controlled by an evil god named Necron.
But they were raised from the dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
They weren't mindless zombies.
Listen,
if you want mindless zombies,
Go to Marvel Zombies.
once you, well, no, they have minds too. No,
really?
Marvel zombies, they have their consciousness. When they eat,
Oh, yeah.
they get their consciousness, and Spider-Man's like, oh God, I hate my wife and aunt. And you're like, Jesus Christ, Kirkman.
I didn't want to feel this bad about it.
I'm trying to enjoy this horror book. And he's like, don't you? Don't you get off to like creepy horror where everyone's sad?
I'm punishing you for buying this book.
That's the thing. Like, for me, my ideal horror has hope in it. Not also then to like, ho ho, I switcherooed you and made you think it was going to end happy, and then it doesn't.
yeah.
And for a long time, I thought that was all horror. Growing up, I like friends who are into the kind of gross, creepy horror that a lot of people do enjoy, and I, like my wife, who are like, no, isn't it really cool when all is lost, there's nothing but despair, and everyone just dies? And it's like, no. I don't want to be unhappy.
The world is really like dark and horrible.
I know,
sometimes.
that's why I'm reading fiction. That's the only place I can go at this point, and even then I can't. Even then it's misery, and it's but it's misery to the nth degree. Like where it's like, oh, you know, in the real world, it's just like, you know that you're never gonna get a fair shake for the rest of your life. In a comic book, no one who has powers untold can get a fair shake, and also the world blows up. Like, thanks. Cool, great, yay!
Nah, you were
wee.
doomed from the start. There you go, you're welcome.
At the very least, your superhero will at least get a brief respite between catastrophes. Thanks.
I guess-
Maybe, except for that last page reveal, where it's like, oh, but...
I was going to say maybe it's possible that what you're looking at is the bad, like the good guys, but they're really idiots and assholes, and you're like, no, they're getting what's coming to them.
Again, like,
Yeah,
what?
that is definitely like part of it, but I'm like, yeah, but nothing any of these people have done is enough
Warrants-
to deserve this. It's not even like close.
No.
What are you talking about, Ethan? They had sex before marriage.
Yeah, it's like,
What kind of archaic, puritanical, weirdo morality play are you
Yeah.
performing for me? This, however, is... Number one, it's a Elseworlds type story. It takes place in another reality, so don't worry about it.
Right.
Don't think about it. Don't even get me started. All right? There's zombies in it. Don't
You
get
mean
me,
go ahead, you started.
don't
You're
get-
the one starting
well,
it.
don't get me started about like whether this is in the dark multiverse or not. Like, F you. No. Forget it.
was this before or after?
During.
Oh, so
So
it
it has
invited
to.
the question.
Yes, but it thankfully didn't answer it. Tom Taylor, of course, the most notable one is also an Elseworlds story. You might have heard of it. It's called Injustice: Gods Among Us, the comic book series. My assumption is, and I believe this to be the case, Taylor had a pitch. He was like, I want to do a zombie story.
Oh, see, that's funny. My assumption is they're like, DCeased?
Go with it.
DCeased? What, write it. Write DCeased. That title is gold.
Right. It's too good not to do.
Yeah.
No, I mean, which came first, the chicken or the egg in this situation? I believe that Taylor had a pitch for DC Zombies, and then he went DC Zombies, DCeased.
Yeah.
And then that was...
DCZ is not a thing.
The story opens with Darkseid, and he's been defeated by the Justice League.
Wait, is he a baby?
No, forget it. No, just throw out everything.
Okay.
It's just like standard generic continuity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's up to 2019.
Okay.
And
so, like-
Hawkgirl's here.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
And so's Green Arrow. What
so
the hell?
it's kind of like New 52?
Yeah, because Tom Taylor likes Green Arrow. That's why Green Arrow is like a huge player in the Injustice comic book series. He's just like, justice for Green Arrow! And by the way, works for me. It's pretty cool. Green Arrow is rarely as cool as he is when Tom Taylor has the quiver.
Okay.
So, Darkseid is defeated by the Justice League.
Going viral.
Get it? There's
great
more.
title.
There's more than that.
Oh, yeah?
You'll see.
Okay.
So the Justice League has defeated Darkseid. They got like the lasso truth on him. They're just like, don't get up. Like, we got you. And there's a narration going out throughout the series. It's like typed up. It's a little story that's like telling you the narrative of this from the future.
Yeah.
They're like, this was indeed the Justice League's final hour. It's the last time the Justice League ever formed.
Ominous.
Yeah. Oh, it's gotta be. The book's called DCeased. And Darkseid's like, fair enough. I got what I needed. Bye. I'll never come back. Takes off the lasso and goes through a boom tube. And they were like, well, that was okay until he said all that. Batman's like, hey, my machine went off. Cyborg's missing. And he's not on this planet or in this solar system. And they're like, how do you know that? And he's like, oh, I have trackers on literally everybody.
Yep.
Especially Cyborg. Because Cyborg is imbued with apocalyptic technology. We don't understand how he works. I'd like to know where he's going most of the time.
Right.
I want to see if he's boom tubing around.
Yeah, and so he's gone.
I don't want him spying on me in the cave.
Right? So they're like, okay, well, where could he be? And we cut to where he is. He's on Apocalypse.
Yeah. Or the creepy guy with teeth.
Desaad.
So that's why Darkseid was like, I got what I needed.
I got what I needed. So long. So back on Apocalypse, Desaad is crucifying Cyborg on an altar. Sometimes he's a creepy, wormy old man. And in this, he's like a monster.
Yeah.
Which
With
is
terrible
cool.
teeth.
I love him. I love this design for Desaad.
Yeah.
Desaad is setting up Cyborg for torture. And Cyborg is being his usual self. You know, he's making fun of Desaad. He's just trying to keep his head clear. Yeah. And then Darkseid shows up.
Well,
and
he just has to wait. Batman will come save him.
Yeah, I mean, presumably. They don't know that he's on Apocalypse. They just know that he's not in this universe.
Oh.
They should, because it's like Darkseid said he got what he came for. Cyborg is suddenly missing. Like he was dealing with parademons and then he just was gone. So
Come on,
obviously
Batman.
he's there.
World's best detective.
Yeah, let's
put
do
two and
this.
two together.
Right? So Darkseid's like, shut up, Cyborg. Desaad cut out his tongue. So Desaad cuts out Cyborg's tongue. And
Jesus.
Darkseid gets into this whole thing where he's like, okay, so listen. I want the anti-life equation. Remember that? That's all you need to know. Darkseid wants the anti-life equation. I've got half of it. I feel like there's another half someplace else, and I know the other half is embedded within you because you're like you're an enigma. Okay. Whatever.
Sure.
So
whatever.
Yeah, Cyborg's a real enigma.
Right.
Tough nut to crack.
So Cyborg's like, well, you'll never get it from me. And he's like, yeah, I know.
Wait, so Cyborg's like, oh yeah, I have it, but you won't get it.
Well, he's like, even if I do have it, you'll never get it. Like, I just won't let you. And he's like, yeah, well, we'll see about that. So then Darkseid summons the Black Racer, Death, and the Black Racer shows up, and he's like, okay, who am I gonna kill? And Darkseid just grabs him, and he rips off a piece of the Black Racer, and then he imbues it into this like device he's using to interface with Cyborg to access the anti-life equation. But that piece of Death that is mixed with the anti-life equation becomes a new anti-life equation. And that equation explodes out of Cyborg and embeds itself into Darkseid's head. And Darkseid becomes overwhelmed with rage, pain, hate. It's all the stuff that the monkeys were infected with in 20 Days Later. Yeah. And so he gets it and he rips his face apart trying to get the equation out of his head.
Oh. Yeah, he like tears his head open.
Yeah.
Like, he's like digging his fingers into his skull.
Yes.
It's like, oh no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
And Desaad's like, oops. And so he just boom tubes Cyborg away. It's like, this is a bad scene. Get out. So he sends Cyborg away. Darkseid becomes the first of the infected with this anti-life equation.
I get the anti-life.
They're
that
not
was
zombies.
That was on the nose.
Yeah. But like, fine, it's a zombie book. What are you gonna do?
Right.
So,
but it works. It's the first time we've seen something like that. It's not like it's just death.
Right.
No,
Right.
Or anti-life.
It's like an intelligent use of the anti-life equation, which is a stupid, nonsensical concept.
Well, I mean, the idea that like when we've seen the anti-life equation used, it controls the wills of people.
Yeah,
right?
and I don't understand why that's anti-life.
Right. Yeah.
Well, because freedom is life, Ethan.
I guess.
And so is choice.
Yeah.
It's Pepsi.
Well, so Darkseid just starts tearing up Apocalypse, and in his rage, he leaps into one of the fire pits, and Darkseid's, I don't know, essence or whatever, his immortality, the fact that it's Darkseid, when it mixes with the apocalyptian fire pits, it just blows the whole planet apart. Apocalypse is no more.
Huh.
Yikes. Yeah. Damn.
So Cyborg lands in the middle of Metropolis, and he desperately tries to section off his interface with the internet, because once Cyborg like comes in contact with like
Wi-Fi, it just automatically connects.
Yes, which he does. And once he automatically connects, he interfaces with the internet, and the anti-life equation desperately wants to get to as many people as possible. So
the new anti-life.
Yes, this new anti-life equation. It infects
Anti-life. Sorry.
What?
So the anti-life equation 2.0 wants to get to as many people as possible, so it infects social media.
Yeah.
It's like a computer virus.
Because it's through Cyborg.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's something where, like, if you look at it, you
are infected.
You're infected.
What if you get a phone call?
If you look at the screen, you are infected.
So blind people are immune.
Right.
Okay.
And if you are looking at it through different spectrums, like Superman will not be infected because when he hears about it, he immediately switches his vision to X-ray vision at all times.
Oh, interesting. So he can't see
the screen.
Visual light.
I'm seeing bones and skeletons.
Screen. Yeah.
I've been walking into walls a lot. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
So, well, it doesn't matter for him.
Yeah,
there are no walls.
Boom. I just find it funny if he's just like accidentally hitting shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
Is the anti-life equation like a sentience, or is it more like a mindless virus
that
just wants to spread?
Well, okay.
Like, does it have a goal?
I would think the anti-life equation itself does have a goal, but the people don't.
The people are responding to being infected by the anti-life equation. What is revealed in the story is the anti-life equation is a thing.
Okay.
It is a sentience.
Ah, okay.
But we don't find that out until the last page of the book. So,
I see.
But it doesn't really change anything about the story.
Right.
It's not a big reveal. It's just like the anti-life equation has a consciousness.
Yeah.
And it is trying to get to as many living people as possible.
Right. It's trying to spread.
See how the going viral becomes a
thing?
It's going through social media.
Yeah.
I think the idea here is that people are then compelled to share it as well. So it's tweeted, it's blogged, it's YouTubed, people are sharing the anti-life equation themselves. So that's how it's spreading even further.
It kind of reminds me of Crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're cutting themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And they do. They rip their faces open. Superman is chatting with Barda.
But Cyborg is not affected?
He's patient 0.
Yeah.
And because it only affected...
He's a carrier.
He's a carrier.
Yeah.
But also, were he fully human, number one, it wouldn't have worked. But number two, he would be infected, but the cyborg part, the robot part, is keeping the other part at bay. So he can actually maintain his consciousness.
Interesting. Okay.
By the way, his cybernetic body manufactures a new tongue for him so he can talk later.
Why'd they have him tear it out in the first place?
Oh, just to shut him up because he was given sex.
Well, now he doesn't have a tongue.
I get that, but why did the writer put that in if they're just going to
show that Darkseid means business?
I see.
But also show the versatility of Cyborg. Look, he grew him a new tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he would try to sell Cyborg.
Look at his many powers. He can grow a tongue.
Oh. So Superman hears the tortured screams of his beloved city, and he goes outside, and he sees it all ripping itself apart, and he's like, oh crap, what about my family?
Lois!
Yeah, Lois and
exactly.
John.
Lois and John.
So he goes home, and at home, Lois is babysitting, essentially, John and Damian. Damian's over there, because John and Damian are buddies. They're super sons.
Right.
Right now, they're just playing video games. Lois is looking for a phone, because, she's over 20.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, have you guys seen my phone? They're like, no.
Right.
She's like, oh my God. And Damian's like, John, you have X-ray vision. You could find the phone. He's like, good point. It's behind the fruit over there. So Lois is going for it, and Superman just blasts through the window, and he just burns the phone with his heat vision. He's like, don't do it! And so the Kent family and Damian are saved.
Okay.
He also burns the TV, and he burns every screen.
He does
just
burn the TV. Yeah. He blows it up with his friggin' heat vision.
We're going camping!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to the woods
Incidentally,
for a long time.
3 superheroes are saved because they are camping.
Oh, yeah?
Story.
Nice.
I'm guessing Green Arrow is one of them.
Of course. So Batman's in the Batcave. He's seeing.
Oh God, he's all surrounded by screens.
Yeah. But he also, when he saw the city starting to rip itself apart, he put it together. He used the local intranet in the Batcave.
Okay.
So
he's not connected.
Not connected.
Yeah.
He hears a horror scream from upstairs, and he's like, "Oh crap! Was the manor disconnected?" And the computer's like, "No." And he's like, "Fire an EMP now." Turns off the entire manor. Everything's dead. So Bruce then goes up into the manor to see who's affected in his family.
Right.
So,
damn it.
Damian's with Superman, John, and Lois, and they're just kind of getting their bearings, figuring it out. And Batman's in the Batcave, finding out who among his family is completely effed.
Right.
It's Alfred, right?
It is not Alfred.
Oh, that was sad.
I would be very sad. It is not Alfred.
I was really worried.
I know, you should be, but,
Wait.
hang in there.
Who else is there?
It's like the Bat family.
Right,
yeah.
Like,
the
it
Bat
could be
family.
anybody.
It could be anybody. That's the thing.
hanging
What, do they
out.
live at the manor?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I would.
Yeah. He invites him over for sweet parties and stuff.
I would never live at the Bat Manor, at the Wayne Mansion. That's not going to happen.
Why?
Because I guarantee you, if
opulent.
I'm part of the Bat family, Like, I'm just going to get woke up in the middle of the night in a training exercise and have to, like, fight my way out.
If you are invited to stay in the Wayne Manor, you've been doing that for years.
Yeah, that's just...
So it shouldn't be...
That's just Tuesday.
It shouldn't be annoying.
You would have left the family a long time ago if you had a problem with that.
You'd be Jason Todd, who is not in this.
No, I don't want this.
He exists.
He should be in this because he should be dead.
Yeah.
So this book is perfect for him.
He is not in this.
He should ironically not be dead in this book. He should be like the only one who doesn't die.
He is. So Damian tries to use like the local communicator to talk to his dad, and it's not working.
Right.
So Batman's in the cave, and he's like, Alfred? And Alfred's like, in here, Master Bruce, in here. And so Batman joins Alfred in the kitchen where Nightwing is, and he has been affected.
Oh, boy.
As has Tim Drake, Red Robin or Robin.
Robin,
right.
Yeah.
So Tim Drake and Dick Grayson are zombies, or the deceased.
Okay.
And they immediately attack Batman, and Batman's fondness for them slows him down, so they get him.
Oh, wow.
They bite him, and so he's affected.
Wait.
So you could spread it through bites also?
Yes. Yeah, through screens and zombie effect.
So it's electronic and it's viral.
They call it
techno-organic,
They call it a techno-organic virus.
It's
so
both.
yes, it's both.
Yes. Yes. All of it.
I like that you have the DCeased, which is just DC zombies.
Uh-huh.
And you have a techno virus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stuff going on in this book. It's fun, though. I like it a lot. So, but Tom Taylor's like, we're not gonna do the thing you think we're gonna do.
Right, where Batman, like, saves everyone.
Batman's dead
Yep.
in the first issue.
Nice. Well, that's the cover promises that.
Well,
so
yeah,
I
but those are
appreciate
alternate variant covers. By the way, the variant covers are incredible in this series because most of them are parody covers of horror movies using DC characters.
That's cool.
Oh,
They're really cool.
that's cool.
Aquaman is investigating a derelict ship. He goes in there, it's full of zombies, and he's immediately attacked and bitten and scratched.
Oh, jeez.
He tries to evade them by jumping in the water, and they'll just pour after him. It's just a horror image.
Yeah.
But Aquaman's effed. No more Aquaman.
Oh.
So John, Lois, Damian, and Superman are on the roof of their apartment, and they're just looking at Metropolis burn. They're like, okay, I think we need to go to like the Daily Planet because they have like radio towers and stuff. Like we can actually get out a message to people not using smartphones and stuff to get people together.
Right.
We got to start being proactive here.
Sure.
Clandestinely, Poison Ivy has convinced Harley to break up with the Joker.
Okay.
Okay.
And she's like, you have to deal with this yourself. I'm not going to help you. It's going to be more cathartic for you to deal with it yourself. So Harley's like, okay. So Pam's like, I'll meet you at the Gotham Botanical Gardens or whatever. I think it's the park.
So they're just acting like nothing's different.
Right.
Yeah, they don't know yet.
They're having their own adventure.
Story.
Yeah.
But Harley Quinn is going to break up with the
Harley
Joker.
Quinn's going to break up with the Joker, so she goes into
That's the B plot.
the secret warehouse where Joker is holed up, and she's like, hey, Puddin', listen, I got something to tell you. And you see it from his perspective, and he is already a zombie.
Yeah.
So you're like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
But it also makes it a lot easier for her.
Right.
So, meanwhile, outside Metropolis, Dinah Lance, Ollie Queen, and Hal Jordan are camping, and they're singing Row, Row Your Boat in the Round because it's Star Trek V. No,
Oh my god, that is the worst song ever.
They're talking, and Hal is talking about bored he is and how he doesn't like camping.
Right.
Hal, you could make anything you want out there.
Yeah, so Hal goes into his tent, and he goes to use his phone, and he becomes a zombie Green Lantern. The tent explodes. He's a horror Green Lantern.
Does he have like green hands rip his face off for him because he's a lazy bastard?
We don't see that. We just see him looking awesome. And the ring says, Green Lantern Sector 2814, lethal force is not authorized, which is the case for the Green Lanterns sometimes.
Right.
So
unless your willpower is so great.
Well, and that's the thing, is that Hal's like using horror hands, monster hands, to chase after Ollie and Dinah.
Right.
They're attacking each other. Ollie's got his bow and arrow. He's like, Hal, this is not a boxing glove hour. You got to stop, man. And ultimately, Hal is going to stab Ollie to death using these dagger hands.
Yeah.
And Dinah's like, shit. She screams him to death, and Hal dies.
Oh, wow. She could do that? She can kill you with that scream?
Apparently.
I mean,
If you're a zombie.
In DCeased.
I would think that you could kill a
Zombies really
normal
don't like
person with
noise.
that. You just gotta burst their eardrums or like explode their brain or something.
Yeah.
Explode their brain. That's probably... She screams at the resonant frequency of his skull, so
Yes.
it, like, shatters.
Yeah, man, you never see Mars Attacks?
Like a wine
Yeah,
glass. There
that's
you
what
go.
yodeling does.
Yeah.
Superman takes the family to the Daily Planet to deal with it.
Yeah.
Superman uses his X-ray vision to figure out like who's made it, and he's like, the building's full of monsters.
Well, it would have to be, because they're all, like, reporters and stuff.
Right.
So, like, as soon as things started to go down, they would check their phone.
Yeah.
What's going on? Oh, I'm a zombie.
Oh fuck. Yeah, exactly. No, and it's handled incredibly well. Taylor uses every panel, but not in a obnoxious way, to tell a story for everyone and give you those moments that you're like want to see in an apocalypse.
I would love it if Perry made it.
Yeah, right.
Because even though it's a newspaper
I'm a
building,
newspaper man.
I'm a newspaper man. I only reprint.
Perry did not make it. It's very sad.
Aw.
Ollie and Dinah are standing over Hal's dead body. The ring goes, Dinah Lance, you have proven to overcome great fear. Guess what?
Yeah,
You're a
and
lantern now.
A lot of people on Earth are zombies right now, so you know.
You're kind of it.
Yeah.
We're gonna need you.
So she becomes the Green Lantern. She's like, oh, shit, I do not want this.
Oh.
And Superman shows up and he's like, well, we're going to need you.
Yeah.
So get used to it.
Yeah. A
So-
lantern is going to help us out a lot right now.
So Dinah Lance, Black Canary, Green Lantern, and Ollie Queen join Superman. They all converge on the
So,
Daily Planet.
Would you call her Green Canary or
Green
Black
Canary
Lantern?
or Black Lantern? I would go with Green Canary, though Black Lantern would be more apropos, given the fact that it's kind of like the Black Lantern saga, because it's dealing with zombies in the DC universe. Although I think it's a misnomer. I think I'd go with Green Canary.
Yeah, it would imply that she's evil.
Right,
You don't
exactly,
wanna do
exactly. And she's got a distinct costume, so you could take this out of context from this and make her any kind of Green Lantern character. So I'm going to go with Green Canary. And while Superman was gone, Batman made contact with Damian and the crew.
that. Oh.
Reaches out. Yeah, he
But he's dead.
Yeah, he was dead. He threw himself into one of Mr. Freeze's outfits and froze down his metabolism to
stop
slow
the spread of
himself
the oh, wow.
from dying and becoming this thing.
Okay.
He's like, I'm infected. I don't have a lot of time. Here's the lowdown. And so he proceeds to Batman up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, guys, here's the deal. Clark, I'm sorry. I don't have time to say goodbye to you. We're friends. Moving on. My son is there. Damian, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were a great son. You're going to be great things. Alfred's got something for you. He's going to meet you guys.
Okay.
Also, here's the deal that I found out about the virus.
I forget Alfred standing behind him with a shotgun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is it the giant elephant gun they had before?
I think it's just a regular
It's just a regular shotgun. No, it's not the elephant gun for Batman v Predator.
So they had to destroy the internet. Why isn't Superman already up in space, like blowing away all the satellites and stuff?
He hasn't thought of it yet. It's only been like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it spreads like immediately.
Yeah, I
like you
know.
don't have a lot of time. You gotta act.
I know, but Superman's not as smart as Batman. Batman had to come up
I
with that
thought he
idea.
was super intelligent because he's super at everything.
Yeah, but he's not a super detective.
Yeah. He had to detect that. No, listen.
I'm not either. I figured it out. Stop the internet. It comes through the phone. Destroy everything that.
I know. Batman tells them to do it.
Right. Of
It's
course.
only been like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Well, like, do they also know that it was Cyborg that originated it?
No.
Yeah, see? They don't know that yet.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
still,
first
it's-
step is cut off everyone's connection to everything.
Yes.
Slow it down.
Well,
Then
the
we'll
other
figure
thing
it
is
out.
that
if you destroy every satellite, you can't bring everything back up. You have to build new satellites.
not only that, but, like-
we'll worry about that later. There's
Yeah.
a virus ready to cross the entire planet.
We
Like,
have, priority one.
containment.
Alfred kills
Hey, at least it
Batman.
wasn't the gun that killed his parents.
Yeah, that would have been friggin' dark.
God.
It's the only gun
You know
I
what's
have,
funny?
Alfred.
Taylor's watching this episode. He's like, shit. The only gun in the house is
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
that killed my parents.
It's
I
a
like
save
that.
or a display case.
I
or
like that a
something.
lot.
Yeah.
We do know there is a precedent that Alfred does have gaming rifles.
Right.
But I really
right.
like that. Oh my
I'm
god.
sorry, sir. It says break in case of emergency.
Right? It's like, because it's got this, it was a revolver. It's got 6 bullets. Like, there's
4 left.
4 left. Oh my god. So then we move on.
Right.
Batman's dead. He's out of the picture. We got one last. We saw Batman die in the last issue. We're like, oh no. Second issue, hey, Batman a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now for real.
No, but now he's done.
He's done.
He's dead.
We only get an image of Alfred pointing it and the word BAM.
Yeah, next issue, they're all dead.
Okay.
Tim, Dick, Bruce, they're all laid out on the cave floor, and Alfred is like, I'm so sorry that I couldn't save you.
Oh my God, I hate you right now because if it was the revolver, there were 4 bullets left.
Oh my God!
Tim, Dick, Batman, and Alfred's just like, there's only one left. Oh shit!
Then he gets into the bat plane and he flies off. And he's flying over Gotham and Gotham's tearing itself apart. He's like, fuck this place. Starts bombing it. He doesn't say anything. He needs to take out his anger on something. So he's like, fuck all these guys.
That's cool.
The Joker warehouse explodes. Harley is barely evading the Joker zombie who's chasing after him. She's seeing the city's ripping itself apart. She missed all this, and she's like, "Oh crap!" And she busts out a gun. She disarms some of the other zombies, takes a gun away from them, and then she's like, "It's over, Mr. J." And she proceeds to kill the Joker.
Nice.
And she's like, "Oh my God, how cathartic! This is amazing."
I feel great.
I feel great. All right, Red, I'm coming for you. And so she goes off like through this horror of Gotham to reach her beloved.
Like, this is great.
Yeah.
Everyone's crazy.
Yeah. So, well, no, for her, she seems like a little more put together where she's like, okay, but she's intercepted by a zombified version of the Birds of Prey. Batgirl, Catwoman, Huntress, and Batwoman. All drop down. She's like, zombie birds of prey. Well, I guess we're going bird hunting. And it would be funny if you weren't paying attention to Harley's eyes, which are welling up with tears. And you're like, oh my God, like Harley is kind of getting affected by this. She's like, this kind of sucks. So Damian's sitting by himself, kind of brooding.
Are we gonna gloss over the fact that Superman could literally just laser beam everyone?
Yes,
I'm sorry, heat vision, I should say.
Yes, we're gonna do that.
Oh, it's gonna happen? Okay.
No, I mean we're gonna gloss over that.
Oh.
He does not just laser beam everybody. It's still a lot of people, and he only has 2 eyes.
Yeah.
It's not like he's gonna be like, I just go really high. I go up to like the moon, and I just go like, okay, North America, burn.
But he's got supervision.
Yes.
And he's
super
super
speed.
fast.
Yeah.
He could get a lot of people.
He's trying to save as many people as he can.
yeah.
They're already
Not
dead.
burn the
problem is,
world.
like, the whole world is affected, so it's like, all right, what I really have to do is like follow Batman's plan to stop the spread.
Yes.
And then maybe if it worked out, maybe then he'd go and kill everybody who's infected.
No, it's true. But they're dealing also with superpowered superheroes as well. So it's not as easy as all that.
Right.
So Damian's brooding by himself, and John comes over to him, and he's like, hey. And Damian's like, I don't want to talk about it. And he goes, that's okay. I'm just going to sit here next to you then, just to make sure you're not alone.
Yeah.
And Lois and Superman are just kind of watching him. He's like, my boy's so great. We're good parents. And
You know who wasn't? Batman.
so Superman's like, I got to go check on my parents, because in this reality, Ma and Pa Kent are still alive.
Oh.
He's like, Lois, I got to go. And so Lois is like, please, no, go, check them out, see if you can bring them back. So he leaves.
What about Lois's family?
They made it. She talks to them because her dad never trusted smartphones.
Oh.
General Sam Lane.
He is a jerk.
He is a jerk. Oh, good. Sam Lane made it. But so Superman grabs the planet from the Daily Planet, like closes off the
Entryway
to the Daily Planet. He goes through the building. He removes all the infected.
So he makes it like a fortress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then he leaves to go check on his parents. Meanwhile, in Atlantis, Mera is dealing with Aqualad, and then there's this shadow over them in the water, and she realizes it's blood. And she's like, what? And Aquaman is just tearing through all of the Atlanteans, and the sea is filling with their infected blood.
Oh, jeez.
And Aqualad gets affected by the blood in the water, and so he becomes a zombie, and Mera says, you will not take me. And she uses her hydrokinesis powers to push the blood-infected water away from her, and she just bails.
Yeah.
I love Mera. I think she's a cool character, and I think that if you were ever going to like retire Aquaman, Mera's a fine replacement.
Well, it makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
He's super powerful.
Exactly.
Also, I love the fact that there are sharks.
Right.
Now that there is blood in the water.
Yeah. And are they affected? Do we have anti-life sharks now?
I mean,
Well,
they
they're probably
like
under
regular
control of
Aquaman.
Yeah. He's like using them to like help him like kill people
and spread the disease.
and spread the disease. Yeah.
And to show that God can bleed.
Because if you make God bleed,
yeah,
then people will cease to believe in him.
There'll be blood in the water,
and the sharks will come.
And the sharks will come.
Wiser words have never been spoken. Thank you, Ivan Vanko. So Superman is trying to get to Smallville, and he keeps hearing people crying for help. And so he just can't help himself, and he keeps saving people. He runs into Black Lightning and his family.
You're gonna waste all this time. Like, do what Batman said.
I know he's not. He's Superman. He's compelled. He's compelled to help people.
But as you're saving like 5 people, like
a million
more are getting infected.
I know.
Because you
he was also
going to
go check on his parents before.
That's where he's going.
Like solving
heading
everything.
To his parents.
I know, but like he's still stopping.
He's like, well, I'm stopping. Damn.
Yep.
Just check on your parents first.
Yeah. I love it. By the way, there's an infected Clayface, and he's just this mass, and he's got like clay tendrils that are grabbing helicopters and shit. So Superman burns him, and then he saves Black Lightning. He's like, "Go to the Daily Planet. I gotta go." So he goes to Smallville.
He gets to the Daily Planet. He's like, "I can't get in."
Yeah.
No, you can get on the roof because they're in a helicopter.
Can Black Lightning fly? Oh, they're in a helicopter.
They're in a chopper.
Yeah. Okay.
So Superman makes it to the farm, and Ma's there, and she's got a shovel, and she's guarding the shed.
Oh.
And she's like, Jonathan's inside. And Superman goes into the shed, and Jonathan's locked in like the lower area where they keep his ship that he landed in as a baby. He opens it up, and his father, Jonathan, just like reaches out for him, and he's screaming, he's bleeding, and he's just blah. And Superman just lets him like hit him and attack him, and he just
because it's okay.
Yeah,
like you can't hurt me. It's all right.
So he grabs his father's wrist and he just pushes him back into the room, and he closes the doors and he, welds it shut with his heat vision. He goes back out and he grabs his mom and he leaves. And she's like, "What about Jonathan?" He goes, "Pa's not here." But he leaves him in there because he's like, if we come up with a killer,
then I can save it.
Maybe I can save my dad.
Yeah.
So they leave. Ugh. Moving on.
Yeah.
This is dark.
It is, yeah, but like not joyfully dark.
No.
Tom Taylor isn't wallowing in misery.
Right.
He's not like, look at the blood of your favorite heroes.
Right.
He's just
No, that was more issue like 1 and 2.
well, but that's like
3 is more sad.
That's the impact. It's like it's a gut punch. But then you move on with the actual story.
Right.
I like this a little more than Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies is like, wouldn't it be funny if your friggin' favorite superheroes were heartless monsters that kill people?
But then after they did, they realized what they did?
Yeah, that'd be funny, wouldn't it?
No. I just want to see my heroes dealing with the problem. I don't want to see them
become the
turned
problem
into horrible things and like see their thoughts and how much they hate it. Like that's so weird.
Yeah, at that point, they're no longer the monsters. You're the monster.
That's too dark.
Yeah.
So then we see the military response. Captain Atom, of course, is an actual military captain. He's got the power of, the atom itself.
Atom.
So he has this ability.
I'm really glad that all these military characters are captains.
Right?
Because if there was just like a General Atom,
it wouldn't.
Doesn't play well.
It doesn't have the same panache.
No.
So they have a infected person, and they got Ray Palmer in there, who's just like kind of bouncing around on the subatomic level, checking out the disease, and they can't find him anymore.
Oh.
So then they're like, all right, well, we need to focus on containment. So they send Captain Atom out to use his atomic powers to just start wasting people in Washington, D.C.
Oh.
So Atom is blasting people, and then he starts to feel a little funny. And the reason he's feeling a little funny is because Ray Palmer is inside him, infecting his cells one by one.
Oh, God.
So
it's already over then.
Yeah, so Captain Atom is screwed, and he rips himself apart, and he becomes a disaster. Because now he's got, like, nuclear power, and he's compelled by this new anti-life equation.
Uh-oh.
But he can't infect people. He can only kill them.
Right. I mean, he could if he bit them, but he's not going to.
Yeah.
He's going to fry everybody.
Oh, jeez.
So, meanwhile, on the Daily Planet roof, we got this whole team coalescing. Superman drops off Ma. Ma and Lois have a tender moment, and they're talking to Superman about how, hey, you've been all over the place. How come you're not infected? And he's like, because I turned on my X-ray vision.
Right.
And we see his vision for a minute, and it's like, this is even more heartbreaking because Superman can't see his family. He hasn't looked at his
children. You don't see their faces. He's just seeing skeletons.
Yeah.
Which is like you're looking at dead people already.
Right? Yeah.
Creepy.
That is macabre.
Yeah. So Lois uses a closed circuit method, probably radio, to tell everybody, yo, we're holding up here. We're going to try and find more help. Like, we got Superman. We're working it out.
Right.
And you see it affect everybody. It's kind of like the fireside chats. Like, hey, take heart. We're going to be okay.
Right.
We see that Luthor is there in Metropolis. He's got his power suit.
Who's this chick?
That's Lena, his sister, I assume.
What?
We never really see her in this book. She doesn't make it. So
who is she? I've never even heard of
Lena, sister
Lena, his sister.
She's got a power suit?
He made multiple suits, I assume.
Yeah, they're twinning.
Even though they don't really get along, I'm sure that he has a contingency suit for her because, like, you know, family.
Right.
So meanwhile, on Paradise Island, the mascara is, of course, unaffected. Number one, no cell phone coverage. Yeah. Number two, it's an island of Amazonians who don't use technology.
Right.
Mera meets up with Hippolyta, and she's like, hey, listen, I'm sorry I'm barging in on you like this. And they're like, no, you're cool. You're a woman. You're on board.
Yeah. If you're telling me that there's not like some scrying pool and it comes through like that?
No. So Mera joins with the Amazonians. And Wonder Woman's like, we gotta do something. We gotta go.
Gotta act. We gotta punch this virus in the face.
That's her. We gotta. We've. What, Diana? That's your answer for everything. You either want to punch in the face or wrap it up with a lasso, and neither of those things is gonna help us right now.
Unless we wrap the world in a lasso.
They'll see the truth. Maybe I can get outside the world, wrap my knuckles in my lasso, and then just punch the earth. Am I as powerful as Superboy Prime? Can I do that?
Tom Taylor, what do you say?
So Superman and Green Canary are flying over the city. They go to Keystone. He finds the Flashes, Wally West and Barry Allen.
Wow.
And they're holed up.
Okay.
And literally what happened was Batman called them first before he contacted Damian and everybody.
Because they're so fast.
Like,
that's brilliant.
He's like, go away.
Right.
Wherever you go away. Go underground. Don't look at anything.
Yeah. I don't want him to have an explanation. I just want him to be mean.
Go away. And they're like,
hey.
Okay, and they just did it because they felt bad. They're feeling just so hurt.
So now they're just like eating pie.
We had psychological profiles on them, so he knew what to say
right,
to make
exactly.
them just recluse themselves.
Your father would be so ashamed of you, Barry. Shoom!
You'll never be as good a forensic scientist as I am.
Shoom!
Destroying them emotionally is faster than explaining what's happening.
I'm Batman, I can do it.
World's greatest detective.
Yeah.
So Harley is fighting the birds of prey. She's not winning.
Oh, I thought she dealt with them quickly. Okay.
No.
That was a long time ago.
It was, yeah. So Harley is battling the zombified birds of prey, and it doesn't look good for her because, you know, it's Harley Quinn. Poison Ivy meets up with her, and she kills them with plants.
Ah.
Yeah. She shows how ridiculously OP she is. She just immediately wraps them all up in vines.
Right.
That come up like from out of the
crushes
ground.
Them.
Yeah.
By the way, she's also connected to the green, so she's even more powerful.
Right, this is greenified.
Well...
Or is it?
No. It's not post-Heroes in Crisis Poison Ivy who actually is green.
Oh.
This is... Pamela Isley is connected to the green, which was originally
Was that? I didn't know that was a thing before.
It was, yeah. No.
So, if you touch their blood, it's not a problem.
Yeah, if you're... It's zombie
if you get
rules.
bit.
You get bit, and you get blood-to-blood transfer, boom, you're infected.
Okay.
So while the team is standing on the roof of the Daily Planet, you know, they're trying to get their bearings, and they hear this like this thunder, this pounding sound effect that's getting louder and louder, and then they notice that Giganta has been affected, who is of course a supervillain who can get really big, and Giganta is just a huge zombie. Black Lightning and Green Arrow try to hold her at bay, but it's not going to work.
Right, she's too big.
When suddenly she is hit by Sidewinder missiles, and it's Alfred in the Batwing.
Yay!
So
Good job.
Alfred's blasting her with projectiles, but she smacks the Batwing, which knocks that out of the air.
No.
Superman is going to try and catch that, but Green Canary catches it instead. So Superman sucker punches Giganta, brings her down. He's not trying to kill anybody because he still has hope that there's a cure for this virus.
I was like, why doesn't he just like fly into her mouth and blast out the back of her head?
Okay, you never fly into her mouth.
No.
You might get bit. He's Superman, but like it's just too risky.
He knocks her out.
Go through an eye socket.
They
He's
ask
still
her the same
invincible.
question. They're like, why aren't? Well, so then Wonder Woman shows up and she's got a sword and she's gonna behead Giganta.
Yeah.
And Clark's like, stop! What are you doing? She's
That's
like,
Giganta.
She's like, they're monsters.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but
What the
no.
hell
But he
is
doesn't
wrong
say. He's
with
like,
you?
yeah, but my dad is one.
Right.
But he's like, no, maybe there's a cure. And then Giganta's head explodes, and on the other side is Cyborg, who has blown it apart. And he's like, they're all dead.
Aww.
It's my fault. There's no cure.
Right.
I like the fact that Wonder Woman's like, they're monsters. I get this. I fight monsters.
Right.
Yeah. I can murder all these people.
Now
Giganta's a villain anyway.
Yeah, this sword ain't for show.
Yeah. I like that we've like made Diana into a like bloodthirsty psychopath.
They made her that way. Alfred is there, and he gives Damian this case, and the case has a bat suit made for Damian.
Oh,
And
little
bat
bitty.
suit. Yeah, a little bitty bat suit just for Damien. And Alfred says, your father says that he's proud of you, and he said to me that he should have told you that every day. So then the Flashes get special contact lenses that blur their vision so they can't see what's on screens.
Okay.
It's going to hurt your equilibrium or whatever, but like you'll still be fast.
Okay.
And sorry, but you know, it beats you infecting the entire world in the blink of an eye.
Right.
It also beats like trying to use echolocation.
Right. Yeah, just close your eyes and run really fast.
And scream.
Scream.
Yeah, well, no, Green Canary can fly over you, and she'll scream while
and
you run. She'll clear a path.
Yeah.
No, she'll just bore a hole, like a trench through the earth while you'll just run and punch people. Like, what are they doing? We don't have a cure. There's no point. Just here. Take these contact lenses.
So Cyborg said, like, she's dead, they're all dead, there's no cure.
Yes.
Yes. He also pointedly says they're not zombies.
Yes.
When someone calls them zombies.
No, they're not.
Actually,
actually, they're not zombies.
They're zombies.
So Wonder Woman catches and saves Hawkgirl, who was just beaten by Captain Atom. And Atom is like freaking out, and he's blowing up the Capitol building and crap.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman and Superman are like, shit.
Yeah.
So they go and engage him, and they grab him because he's about to go nuclear. And so they pull him as far away as they can, but then he explodes. And the blast wave destroys Washington, D.C., and starts to engulf Metropolis.
Oh.
And
wow.
So Lois grabs John. She's like, don't look at it, son. And then everything is enveloped in white light.
Wow.
And you're like, oh, I guess everyone's dead.
What?
So then there's a tie-in series they released, which is actually fine.
What?
And I'm okay with it. And they made no effort to differentiate. They were just like, it was another story that took place while this was happening that explained to you where other characters were during this outbreak.
Okay.
And they perfectly integrated it into this collection and made no effort to say, this is, by the way, a separate series that was not part of DCeased.
That works.
It worked great.
It works because, like, you're on this cliffhanger, you're like, did everyone just die?
Well, what about Big Barda and Mr. Miracle? And you're like, what?
Okay, I guess.
Mr. Miracle activates a boom tube. They go to Apocalypse. There's nothing.
Right, so they go into space.
Yep, and they're like, oh. They have a protective field or whatever.
Thank goodness.
Right. So the story between Big Barda and Mr. Miracle is the two of them are like, well, Apocalypse is destroyed. We know the virus originated from there. What are we going to do now? Right?
Right.
Mr. Terrific is investigating this virus himself using a zombified version of Captain Boomerang.
Nice.
And so Mr. Terrific figures out that the virus is apocalyptic in origin, so he needs to talk to the only two people from Apocalypse that he knows, Big Barda and Mr. Miracle.
Okay.
So he goes and finds them. Literally, Scott and Barda are like in their apartment, and they're just watching the world tear itself apart. And then there's a knock on the door, and Barda's like, oh, I'll go get it. And Scott's like, what are you doing? And she's like, they don't knock.
Zombies don't knock. Yeah.
And he's like, well, what if they're just banging against the wall? And then the doorbell rings, and he's like, all right, you can
All
go."
right, fine.
So it's Mr. Terrific, and he's like, hey.
Why
don't
you say,
knock.
like, hey, it's Mr. Terrific.
me, open the
I'm
door.
not a zombie.
Yeah. They also go, hey, how come you're not affected? And he's like, oh, this thing on my face is a mask, and it protects me from, like, screens and stuff. So they're like, right on, whatever. You didn't need to do that. So,
No, it doesn't, but thanks.
fine. So, meanwhile, at Cord Industries, Blue Beetle, Ted Cord, that's what he runs. Blue Beetle and Booster Gold are there, and they're just
broing out.
They're broing out.
Yeah.
They're holed up. You know, they got nothing but Natty Ice and Doritos and a PlayStation 3. And
And it's not even connected to the internet.
no.
Right.
And so they're like, all
do a
right,
local
let's
co-op.
do this. Local co-op.
I'm not paying for a PlayStation Network.
Please. Little do they know, there aren't nearly as many games for that system, so it's gonna be a long eternity.
Let me guess, their yellow lenses also filter out problems.
Yeah, whatever.
They don't even bother to have that line. But so Big Barda like tears a path to them by kicking the crap out of these zombies.
Yeah.
And so the team meets up.
Jesus.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Terrific sphere is just
Blast
bursting through people.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Right? So we got Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Big Barda, Mr. Terrific, and Mr. Miracle. And they're all together. And they're like, okay, here's the plan. Blue Beetle, you have access to a time machine.
Oh.
He's like, yeah.
Yes, I do. Well, let's go into it, go
stop
back in
this from
time and stop
happening.
this from happening.
Sure.
And they're like, and because it's Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, no one's like, the ramifications, blah, blah, blah. They're just like, yeah, that sounds great, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I go through time all the time.
Right?
I'm from the future.
Right. I'm
this
a
is
walking
great.
paradox.
Yeah. All right.
And there isn't
Oh, obviously this isn't going to work.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of this book.
Yeah.
Also, they can't be our heroes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Liverpool, Constantine is being chased by a horde of zombies.
Oh, yeah.
And he calls out to his driver, Chaz. He's like, Chaz, start the car. He gets in the car, and Chaz has been transformed into a zombie as well.
Aww.
And he's like,
No, over there they call them Zeds.
Right. Good call, good call. Good Shaun of the Dead reference. So Constantine uses magic to burn his friend to death.
Yikes.
Because he's now trapped in a car, surrounded by zombies.
Right.
With a zombie.
With a zombie. So he's like, I'm sorry, old friend.
Yep.
Burn. Dude burns. Then he climbs over his ashes, gets in the car, and Constantine doesn't drive, so he just like awkwardly plows through the zombies and crashes into another car.
Oh, that's amazing.
But he is rescued by Mr. Terrific and Big Barda and Mr. Miracle.
So he was Plan C.
Time travel's really Plan C. Like, we're gonna hope there's a magical cure for this.
I see.
Because if there isn't, then we're gonna bend the laws of time and space. Like, we don't want, because what is it? They make a comment of saying like, I don't want to try and save humanity at the expense of like the space-time continuum.
Right. Like if we mess with time, it might screw everything up.
Right.
You mess with time all the time.
Well, no. It's happened a few times.
They're all on board for Plan C.
Yeah.
But let's see if Plan Magic will work.
Right.
And Constantine's like, do you think it would work? Look at where we are and what I'm doing.
Right. I wouldn't have already fixed it.
Right.
If I could fix it.
Yeah. Constantine, by the way,
I am fixing
why
it.
did I use magic? Thank you.
Good
I guess I'll just
idea.
do that. Why didn't I think of that? Herb?
which he basically does. And then
Yeah.
he's like, go take your go take Mr. Terrific and get out of here. It's the most
No.
arrogant name I've ever heard. Go away.
Yikes.
I'd love it if he's like, no, I can totally do that. Who do you want me to set on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a perfect cure, burning you alive.
Yep.
So they leave. They're like, well, I guess that didn't work.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Also, why wouldn't he go with them though?
He doesn't
Well,
want he doesn't. He's like, screw you. Good luck, heroes. Hope it works out.
Yeah. I work alone.
No, he doesn't work anywhere. He's going to the Oblivion Bar to get good and wrecked.
Oh.
I'd love it if he's just like, oh no, sod off. I don't need to deal with you. And they leave, and he just like looks around, and they're all zombies. Like, that may have been a mistake.
He's already surrounded by them. He knows. He knows
I'll
how
just
hefty he is.
burn them.
Yeah, just burn them.
So I'm not scared of these zombies.
So they're like, all right, we got to use time travel. Screw the space-time continuum. Here we
Yeah.
go. So they're going to go use the time machine that Booster Gold has stashed at Fire and Ice's place. They're zombies too. The Blue Beetle machine,
The Beetleborg?
the Beetleborg gets smashed, and they crash land. And
Oh, no.
they're like, you got to get through. You got to get in there and use the machine. So Barda and Scott like hold off the torrent of monsters.
Okay. And fire and ice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they die kissing.
Oh.
Oh, they do?
They
Yeah,
they
they get
fail.
overwhelmed.
They're beaten. Big Barda and Mr. Miracle are beaten by fire and ice and zombies.
Yes.
Does that make any sense? I don't know too much about their relative power levels.
there's
Seems
so
like
many
Big
of them.
Barda and I see they're saying that like, well, we can't just disappear.
No.
because we're
We can-
necessary to distract all these zombies.
Exactly.
So that
They're
the others can
ripping
get
us
to the
apart.
time
They won't
machine.
go in there.
Right.
He doesn't say like, will we survive? And he's like, it'd take a miracle, and then he always wins.
No.
He doesn't do that?
They just die.
Why don't they like
Okay.
teleport right outside the building and then like teleport back into a part of the building that's not filled with
Because
zombies?
we got to wrap this up in 9 panels. So they do. By the way, hey, good call, Tom Taylor, making a Tom King Mr. Miracle reference by using a 9-panel grid to show you the death of Big Barda and Mr. Miracle. Good
yeah.
call. So then Booster Gold and Blue Beetle and Mr. Terrific like run down to the time machine, and they are stopped by Wave Rider.
Oh, who is a time guy?
Yeah, he's a Time Lord.
Yeah.
And a relic from the 90s who's like, you can't use the time machine. No. You are assholes. You're
I was
under arrest, actually. Like, time arrest.
Oh, he's a time cop?
Yeah. Now.
God damn it.
So,
I was
Constantine...
really concerned he'd be a time zombie.
No. He becomes one. So, Constantine is at the Oblivion Bar, and he's like, Bobo, Detective Chimp,
Yeah.
get me the bottle that the Phantom Stranger drank that made him forget his own name. And they're like, is it that bad out there? He's like, it's worse. So he gets out this bottle, and I love the bottle. It's got like arcane scriptures on it. The cork is a skull.
That's cool.
And he just looks at
When
it.
he
He's like,
uncorks it, it screams.
we don't find out. He feels bad. And this is very Constantine, where he's like, fuck everything. I guess I'll go help. And
Yeah.
when he does, it only gets worse.
Yeah.
So Constantine shows up. He teleports to the time machine, and he distracts Wave Rider by just headbutting him in the face and breaking his nose.
Oh, cool. He uses a soccer hooligan move. I'm sorry, a football hooligan.
Yeah. Right. So Wave Rider's like, you asshole.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm going to go back in time and fix that.
Yeah. So they don't have time to jump in the time machine because Big Barda, who has now been zombified, blasts in there. She grabs Constantine. Mr. Terrific jumps in the way. He stops her from killing him, but dies. Very Constantine, by the way. So Blue Beetle is like, come on, Booster Gold, go in there. Get in the machine. And Booster Gold's trying to get in the machine. And as he's getting there, Wave Rider's like, well, that's that. And they're like, what are you talking about? And Wave Rider unmade Booster Gold. So Booster Gold is now starting to not be born anymore.
Oh, no.
And Booster Gold's only regret is that he and Ted will never be friends. And then Booster Gold fades into nothing. And then Blue Beetle is eaten by Big Barda zombies. And Constantine is like, fuck you,
you're a
Wave
dick,
Rider.
man.
Yeah.
And Wave Rider's like, well, time for me to go. And then Constantine says,
at what part in your timeline did this all happen?
Exactly.
That we're all supposed to be zombies?
I'm just preserving the timeline. This is what's supposed to happen.
Oh,
so Constantine used the binding spell, and he's like, well, you can't leave my side now, Wave Rider. And he's like,
oh, no.
Yeah. And screw you, man.
Yeah. So he's like, you gotta let me go. He's like, no, we're gonna figure this out, you and me, because we're tied together forever. And then Blue Beetle zombie grabs onto Wave Rider and infects him and kills him.
Nice.
So Wave Rider dies, and Constantine's like, here we go. And the Horde's coming in, and then Dr. Fate teleports in with Zatanna, and they're like, let's go!
Are we late?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And Constantine punches Dr. Fate in the helmet, hurts his hand, and
I should have done that, but you still...
You deserved it, though. And they're like, let's go. And so Constantine leaves with Dr. Fate and Zatanna.
Okay. Where do they go?
Where do they go indeed? We never find out.
Are we late? Oh my God! Ooh. I am sorry.
Yikes. A lot of people just died. Okay.
Superman and Wonder Woman survived the nuclear explosion of Captain Atom.
Sure.
Yeah, but...
And Superman's like, oh shit! So he flies out to Metropolis. So he goes towards Metropolis. When he gets there, Green Canary has created a bubble around the building of the Daily Planet and all the survivors. And when they are at... there's this beautiful image of them at Metropolis, and Superman reaches out for Lois and Superman can't touch because they're like between the bubble.
Right.
Yeah.
And
well, he's also still highly irradiated.
Right.
Yeah.
I assume he like figures out how to get rid of it because he interacts with them later.
Hey, he spins really fast.
But yeah, but Luthor's down there in his radiation suit with his sister, and he's like, Superman! And Superman's like, oh my God, Lex Luthor, don't start with me. And Luthor goes, truce. Look what's happened to our city. Like the two of them.
Yeah.
And like these sons of Metropolis are like just alone in the irradiated wasteland.
Neither of them could save it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Luthor drops to his knees as if to like acquiesce. Like, okay, whatever you want to do, Superman.
Right.
I couldn't outthink this.
Like, this is, it's your show.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Right? So
props
they get to
Lex.
work. Yeah, I know. So they get to work. The Flashes disconnect all the servers.
Yay,
Wonder Woman and
finally.
Superman blast all of the satellites.
Better late than never, I guess.
They go underwater. They blast all the connective
the cables.
And
so Aquaman's underwater.
Yeah.
And Mera swam to Themyscira.
Yeah.
Right.
Couldn't Aquaman just do the same thing?
Paradise Island is shielded from man's eyes.
Ah,
so he doesn't know where she went.
So they're like, so now we've contained the virus. It can't spread through that anymore. It can only spread through people.
Right.
So we have to save as many people as we can. So Paradise Island is only so big. So Wonder Woman, Superman, and Mera like raise up pieces of the ocean floor to the surface and expand Paradise Island. So now Paradise Island has become...
Paradise Continent.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound as good.
No, it's more like a sanctuary.
Right.
So then they go to Gotham, where it's become like a garden paradise of its own.
Oh. Because of Ivy?
Yes. Ivy's taken over Gotham.
Yeah, the plants rule here.
The green has taken over.
Okay.
So Batman, now Damian.
The Swamp Thing come in and be like, dude, it's what I wanted all the time.
No, we don't see Swamp Thing here. Yeah, but Swamp Thing did do this one time. They send a crew to parlay with Ivy.
Okay.
Killer Croc attacks them as a monster.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed through the body with vines. They meet up with Harley and Ivy. And they're like, what do you want? And they're like, we have survivors. We need help and sanctuary. And Harley's like, yeah, it's funny. Me and Ivy were literally just talking about that. Ivy says, no, I'm saying maybe. And they're like, listen, it's the end of the world. Like, please.
Yeah.
And she goes, there's going to be rules. And they're like, we accept any demands you make.
Right. It's like, okay, you can't kill any plants.
Well, like, they're like,
so you're all going to starve.
you can only eat fruit from the plants when they want you to.
Okay. Whew. All right.
It's better than
What if they don't
death?
want us to enough for us to survive?
Then I guess
Well,
you
then
better...
you're going to be hungry.
Yeah, you better get a boat.
Yeah.
Damian looks like he's Batman.
Yeah, he's wearing a Batman suit.
got
But
the
he's
Batman suit.
big.
Well,
not.
he's a little bit shorter
He's
than...
a little bit shorter.
He's a little bit shorter, but like he doesn't look young.
No, well, Tom Taylor kind of convenienced age.
He's got
everybody.
lifts.
Like he made well, he's definitely got lifts.
It's another universe, remember? It's not...
Yeah, no, he made Damian and John the same age.
Right. Everything's the same except like a few specific things that the writer wanted to make different.
Right, like Superman's dad was alive, and
Yeah.
and Damian and John were the same age, so that it wouldn't be like awkward and weird for Damian to become Batman, even though he's a teenager.
I'm not going to draw Batman like someone's wearing a Halloween costume.
No.
As it stands, he's already kind of tiny for Batman.
Yeah, he is.
And Ivy makes fun of him for it.
Yep.
So then we go to the Fortress of Solitude. That's the new base of operations.
Right.
And they're like, okay, so now what are we gonna do?
Right.
And and Luthor's like, we need to leave. Like, we need to build arcs and get the hell out of here.
We need to Superman ourselves to another planet.
And Superman's like, I am not abandoning this planet. And Luthor's like, must suck to lose 2 homeworlds in one lifetime.
Hey, I thought we were on the same team.
Yeah, and then Lois punches Luthor,
in the
and she's like,
face.
I need you to think, Luthor. We don't need you for anything else.
Yeah,
no,
I'm here for your winning personality.
Yeah, so
You
that was pretty
asshole.
dope.
But I'm the life of the party now. I'm your comic relief.
Oh,
Lex Luthor. Hey.
He literally is like, you better listen to me. I'm the smartest living... Batman's dead, right? I'm the smartest living person on this planet.
Nice call.
So they build arcs.
Oh, they do.
So they're like, all right, yeah, he's right. We got to get out of here.
Well, we're figuring it out. But we better,
Start.
we better start working on something.
We better have a contingency.
Okay, so why doesn't Superman now go and just burn all the zombies?
Because it doesn't occur to him or Luthor or anybody.
Right.
Okay, so they've cut off communication.
Yep.
So the virus can't spread through satellites, through screens.
It can only
underwater
spread
cables,
through
or anything,
person-to-person
only
contact.
bites.
Yep.
So they can create technology now, or
Yeah.
reactivate technology without the virus being an issue.
Well, no, because it's I guess because you had a hard reset of the internet, and so the virus is purged. I assume that if people had access to those technology, they would then spread the virus that way. Like, they would write the equation or whatever into the internet. Yeah, everyone infected has to die.
What would stop someone from just writing the equation down? Like seeing it
I
doesn't...
assume they're rage-infected monstron.
Yeah,
like
they can't
monstrousness.
think.
Yeah. Although, well, they can think, it's just that they can't function. They're Reavers.
Yeah, they're
Firefly.
Right.
They're always
they're
angry and
crazy
freaking out.
Yeah, but they can also operate ships and stuff.
Right.
So it's a complicated.
Yeah.
So
It's a little hard if you try to visualize it actually happening. It doesn't really
Can you
make a lot
imagine
of sense.
Reavers piloting ship? Like, no.
I actually really like the idea that Reavers are just an act.
Right.
So, like, they
Yeah.
really just don't want to pay taxes. So
They
they're on the outskirts.
really just want to like eat people, but they're
Yeah.
not like crazy.
No,
Right.
I don't even want to eat people, but like, if that's what it takes to not be taxed
to
by
be
the
able to
government,
live
Yeah.
on the outskirts.
All right, fine.
I'll like live without radiation shielding and like
I'll cover my
die
face a little bit.
constantly.
I'll massacre
Come on.
people.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm very dedicated.
I'm
to
a
being
patriot.
libertarian.
Where people, this is the lengths people will go to if you push them hard enough.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're building their arcs. They're starting to like have a minute to grieve.
Right.
And so they're all kind of talking and planning, and Firelord's there, and he's got his whole like thing. Firelord can like make any element and stuff. Then they hear this high-pitched scream in their heads, and then Martian freaking Manhunter shows up, zombified, and he blasts through Luthor, bisecting him.
Shit.
And then Martian Manhunter scratches Flash. Barry
no.
Allen.
Oh crap.
So now Barry Allen just like floors it and infects
Everybody.
as many people as he can come in contact with across the globe.
Wow.
Wait, he doesn't infect as many people inside the room.
Well, he.
No, he just bails. There's fewer people in here as there are out there.
Yeah, he just goes for the center of like mass. I
Yes.
guess human
All right.
mass.
So he goes. Firelord, of course, creates fire and burns Martian Manhunter to death. So he's
Okay,
done.
right.
And Wally's like, okay, I'll go get Barry. And Superman's like, stop!
Right.
If he gets you,
Right.
we're done. I'm not fast enough to stop Flash, but I don't have to be. So then Superman goes out to stop Wally. Superman goes out to stop
So he's
Barry.
gonna blow him away with his laser vision, right?
No, he does not.
No, it freezes him, right?
No, he does not. So he goes into space and he's communicating with everybody and he's like, so you have to confer. He's dead, right? Barry's dead. There's no coming back from this. And they're like, yeah, man. He's
Well,
like, okay.
we assumed Lex Luthor's dead, so all bets are off the table.
Right. So he's like, okay. So then they're like, how are you going to catch up to him? He goes, I don't have to. So Superman goes to where Barry is going to be, and Barry just hits Superman and blasts apart.
Oh, wow.
And Superman looks down, and 2 or 3 fingers of Barry's are embedded in Superman's abdomen.
Yeah.
Well, because he was moving so fast, he like overwhelmed Superman's like invulnerable
skin. So Superman is now infected, and maybe because of his unique physiology, he's like holding it at bay.
Why didn't he use his laser vision instead of using his body?
Because Superman has to die at the end of the story. So Superman goes to the fortress, he finds Wally, and he's like, I need access to the Speed Force. And Wally's like, okay. So Wally somehow gives him access. So
hey, what's that in your stomach?
No, so he knows. Wally's like, oh shit.
It,
So Superman uses the seconds between seconds to say goodbye to his family.
Oh, okay.
So we get
to extend the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he says goodbye to his mother. He says goodbye to Lois. He says, thank you for choosing me. And then he says to his son John, he's like, John, like, I've seen a million civilizations. I've seen like countless people, and you're the best of them. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're going to be great. And then he leaves, and he flies, and he's going to throw himself into the sun. When he gets like halfway out of orbit, he gets overwhelmed.
Wow.
And that's that. And so and this image of him like right outside of Earth with his heat vision blasting out of his head and him scratching his face, just like, oh shit, which is why that chapter is called Hope Lost.
Earth is screwed now.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we have to leave.
Unless someone has some kryptonite or something.
Oh, I love it because there's survivors like in the city who like see Superman up in the sky and they look with hope, and then
yay!
and then Superman comes crashing down.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And he doesn't just like burn them. He blasts like through a building and brings it down, and then he just like starts tearing it apart. And they're like, okay, we're screwed. And Damian pulls out some kryptonite.
Oh.
He's like, okay, I got this. What can we do with it?
Right.
Like, how can we figure this out? And Wonder Woman's like, I've got a plan. So Wonder Woman gets the Sword of Athena, and she takes the remaining kryptonite and forges it into the sword, because Superman is weak to 2 things, kryptonite and magic. The Sword of Athena's magic, she embeds the kryptonite into one side of the blade.
Okay.
So now it's like a Superman killing sword.
Okay.
She's like, Batman's not the only one who had contingencies to kill people that he loved.
I just didn't go through with it before.
I just didn't have kryptonite.
Right.
Now I do.
And
so I know immediately
but
what
I
to do
also,
with it.
I suspected that this magical sword would kill him too.
Right. But
now
now I know
will
it'll kill him.
Because Green Arrow's like, oh my god, like Bruce never stopped with these contingencies.
Yeah,
like,
jeez, Bruce.
Jesus Christ. And Damian goes, actually, Ollie, he never had one for you.
Oh.
No, that's an insult.
It's an insult. You were never a threat.
Right. You couldn't
Ollie's like,
kill the whole planet.
Right. And Ollie's like,
yeah.
I'm dangerous.
Oh yeah, you and your boxing gloves are sure dangerous.
His contingency for you is that
an arrow with a net.
Yeah.
Oh no.
My contingency for you is a pair of scissors. Snip. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. My contingency for you is distance.
Yeah.
So Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Green Canary go out to face Superman. Wally and Batman go to the Gotham Preserve to get people. They're loading up the arcs.
Where's like Power Girl and like,
not in this book.
I'm trying to think like who's all the super powerful characters that you never hear from.
Yeah. Oh, Firelord was there.
Yeah, they got him in.
Yeah. What about like Black Adam?
Oh yeah.
Shazam.
What about Shazam?
We don't hear about them. But there is a sequel series, and there's a sequel series right now, literally right now. It's telling you where all the characters Tom Taylor didn't have time to talk about in this series were during this story, which includes Jason Todd and Commissioner Gordon and all the villains, Deathstroke, whose healing factor prevents him from being affected by the virus. Like he gets infected and then he wakes up and he's fine.
Oh.
And Vandal Savage is like, welcome to the inner circle of people who can't be killed by the virus. Right. Let's go.
I mean, you can still be dismembered. But,
you could die.
Yeah, you just won't die of that.
So Flash and Batman funnel all the survivors from Ivy's preserve into the Ark. So they're like, come on, Ivy, let's go. She's like, I'm not abandoning the Green. The Green is tied to Earth. I'm staying here.
What, you're going to fight Superman?
I'm just not leaving.
All right.
And
yes.
And Harley's like, and I'm not leaving Ivy. So the two of them just wave goodbye.
Okay.
So then they load an Ark over on Themyscira.
We didn't want you here anyway.
Right.
Get out. This is our garden.
So Arrow's getting everybody from the Themyscira Paradise Island preserve onto the Ark, and lightning and thunder starts rolling towards Paradise Island, and they're like, what the hell? They couldn't see us. Right. When you raised the Earth and you added land to Themyscira, you broke the enchantment. People can find it now, including Aquaman and the Kraken.
Oh my God!
So Aquaman unleashes the Kraken on Themyscira.
This thing is awesome!
Right? And they're like, oh, and of course the undead armies of Atlantis.
Right.
So Aquaman is leading this the end of the world.
Right.
And an arrow fires through Aquaman's eye socket, killing him and severing his connection to the Kraken.
Nice.
And Green Arrow goes, fuck you, Batman.
Yay!
That's awesome.
Showed you.
Not dangerous. I just killed a god. So
yeah, but now the Kraken is just loose, right?
No, the Kraken is compelled to listen to Aquaman. So now we just have the armies of Atlantis.
Yeah, the Kraken just went back home.
So the Themyscirians attack the Atlanteans and all die.
Who's this?
That's Wondergirl.
I don't know who that is.
Now, Wondergirl is a complicated mess of a character to explain, but let's just say she's Teen Titans Wonder Woman.
Ah, okay.
And she's on Themyscira, and Hippolyta's like, you gotta go. You gotta go with these people. Because this is the last march of the Amazons.
Right.
Like, we're not fighting to save Themyscira. We're fighting to save the Ark.
Right.
And so it can leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Amazonians and the Atlanteans come to blows, and that's the end of them.
Right.
So Superman is just ripping everything apart.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman and Cyborg and Green Canary engage him.
Yeah.
And so Green Canary makes a megaphone and then roars into it to throw off Superman's equilibrium.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
I like that.
Good imagination, Dinah. So the Ark gets away. The first transport is away.
Is Mara... Damn you guys.
Mara goes.
Mara goes on the ship?
Yeah, Mara goes.
Okay.
With the ship.
She's like, I'm not a friggin' Themyscirian.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave. I don't have to stay and defend this friggin' island. I don't care. Yeah.
I'm not leading these zombies.
It makes sense. The Themyscirians, they're like, this is my home.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna stay here as long as I can and defend
well,
it.
and we're warrior people. Like, this is a good death.
Yeah. But Mara's like, F that. I'm from the water.
Yeah.
That's already effed. I'm gonna go to space. I want to live. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm gonna find more water somewhere.
Although she could just go underwater now, right? Because like Aquaman's dead.
Yeah,
no, but the Atlanteans
the Atlanteans are still a thing. Yeah.
Plus, there's a good reason to leave Earth, and it's coming soon.
Ah.
So Wonder Woman engages Superman. Wonder Woman is slashed by Superman, and she stabs Superman through the chest with the sword. Superman plunges his fist into Wonder Woman.
Ugh.
Ooh.
God.
So she falls. Vic saves her. Well, catches her anyway.
Yeah.
And
there's not much saving after that.
No.
Yeah.
And she's like, you gotta stop him. So she gives Green Canary the sword.
Yeah.
And Green Canary's like, we gotta get out of here. And Cyborg's like, I'll go deal with him. You better get on the Ark. I was never leaving. This is my fault.
Right.
I deserve, this is my penance as being here. So the Arks are away. They go.
Plus, like, she's a space person.
She can
that
leave.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But she could go anytime, though.
She can go anytime.
She could help him fight Superman.
Yeah, but
it's like, no, you have
she
to
might
go.
Die.
You have to get on the Arks. Well, no, I don't have to get on the Arks. I can just fly through space.
Right.
Yeah, but like, go anyway.
Go anyway.
It's my fight.
It's Superman. You'll die.
Right. Well, you won't.
Oh, you won't?
You're Cyborg.
I'm gonna die. I deserve to die. I don't. I
but
want
I
to
need
die.
you to kill Superman first.
Well, I'm not gonna.
All right. Well, maybe Superman's gonna die from his wounds.
No.
He was stabbed through the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a magic and kryptonite blade.
That's true. He'd have to be pretty tough. So the Arks go away. They're leaving atmosphere.
Yeah.
And John is using his X-ray vision to see that Superman is coming.
Oh, okay.
And so he hugs Damian goodbye. He's like, "You're gonna be the best Batman ever." And then he says goodbye to his mom, and he takes off his jacket, revealing his Superboy costume.
Yep.
And he flies out of the ship because Superman is coming for the Arcs.
Right.
And Superboy
Oh God!
And so Superboy faces against his father and hits him. And he disorients Superman. So Superman is now distracted so the Arcs can get away.
Right.
And then Green Canary joins with John to fight Superman when suddenly the entire Green Lantern Corps shows up.
Yay!
Better late than never, I
Hey,
guess.
sorry we were late.
Yeah.
Which is in keeping with the Green Lanterns
Yep.
to a T.
They're like, well,
because
we have to.
even the Guardians are with them, as if to say, yeah, we saw all this happening.
Yeah, this
I
is
just
a
wanted to
very
have
severe
front row
threat.
seat
Yeah.
for my failure.
Well,
All I'm saying is we don't teleport. It took us a while to fly.
well, you know, they've been wiped out so many times. They're like, okay, if we're gonna deal with these zombies, we gotta have everybody there at once.
Right.
We cannot be destroyed again.
Yeah, I'm not having it.
Wait, do they bring White Lanterns with them?
Just Green Lanterns.
Just green.
Come on, you know the playbook here.
I know. So Guy Gardner's there, and he's like, "Oh my God, Dinah, I left the planet for a month, and the whole thing goes to shit."
Okay, kill him immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like,
Sad.
"What is
You
your
are
problem?"
being that. Now is not the time to make jokes.
Yeah.
Guy Gardner's
No.
like, I'm watching humanity die. This is my only coping mechanism. Sorry.
Well,
He literally
alright.
says that. The Arcs go away, and Superman, realizing that he's outnumbered, turns around and flies into the sun.
Oh.
And the Guardians are like, we can't go in the sun. We're not that powerful.
Our power doesn't protect us from the sun.
And Superman absorbs all of the solar radiation from the sun itself.
He extinguishes the
what?
sun?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't extinguish the sun, but
But he just takes a lot
seriously
of energy
depowers it.
out
he
of
takes it to the next phase, so the sun will die.
Oh.
So now humanity has to leave.
Oh, yeah.
And also, like, now he's super powerful?
Yeah, now he's like unkillable.
But he's also inside the sun. Is he strong enough to, like, escape the gravity of the sun?
Well, that's the thing. He's just kind of there.
Okay.
So they're like, so the Guardians go, we'll deal with this another time. Right
Okay.
now, we got to deal with getting humanity to a new planet.
Right.
So the Green Lantern Corps escorts humanity away.
Okay.
So then Cyborg is left with a zombified Wonder Woman,
Right.
and she is actually wrapped up in the lasso of truth.
Oh.
So he says, "You're wrapped in the lasso. Can you speak?" And Wonder Woman stops screaming, and she composes herself, and she says, "We have a voice."
Wow.
And he's like, "Who am I talking to right now?"
Yeah.
And it's like, "You're talking to the anti-life equation."
Right.
And he goes, "Is there a cure?" And she says, "Yes."
Oh.
And he says, "What is the cure?" And she starts to resist, and he's like, "What is the cure?" And she says, "You."
Oh.
She's like, "You're the Alpha and the Omega. You created this. You can stop it." And he's like, "Oh my God." So he starts to head towards the Arcs, and Wonder Woman catches him and knocks his head off.
Oops. You idiot. You suck.
You idiot.
First he's like, oh, that means everybody who died, they didn't
have to
die.
Oh, I
And
could have
then
done this the
he
whole
died.
time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he lets go of the lasso.
He's in such despair.
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So he dies. Wonder Woman's trapped on Earth. Everyone on Earth will die because the sun will go out.
Wait,
and
Wonder Woman can't fly through space?
she can fly. She can fly through space.
Oh, okay.
So then we just end the story with Lois holding her son, whose arm is broken, but he didn't die.
Yeah,
And,
because it is dead.
and it turns out Lois has been narrating the entire story, telling the story from this perspective, from now, where the Arcs find themselves at a new Earth, Earth 2. And they're gonna try to make it work here.
Wait,
I see.
Earth 2, Earth 2?
They're just calling it Earth 2.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's Tom Taylor's tongue-in-cheek way of being like, this is Earth 2. I know that there's a history with that name, but like, this is a second Earth.
Right.
So, there's a history with that name, so let's just use it and it's fun, as opposed to it being like, so the crime syndicate's here.
Right.
Or whatever. Or no, it's where Mr. Terrific is from, even though he's from Earth 2. I guess that doesn't make any sense.
It's an interesting place to leave the book.
Yeah.
Because the anti-life equation is still a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of contained to Earth
For
and
now.
the inside of the sun, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But you haven't
Superman is
finished
still
it off.
alive.
And Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, and any other heroes that are on Earth. And in fact, the
Right.
second...
I mean, a lot of them
DCeased
were killed, but...
Right, but the second DCeased series is implying, like, there are so many other people.
Right.
And you're wondering, like, well, how many of them make it off?
Right.
Because there's an expiration date for Earth now.
Right.
So it doesn't matter how many people Jason
the
Todd
sun is-
saves.
Right.
The sun's going out.
Right.
Also, what's going to happen with the plants now?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I guess the
Ivy
plants will
and-
die. What's Ivy gonna do? What's the
Yeah.
green gonna? How's the green gonna respond?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of neat
Interesting.
ideas, and Taylor's like, I'll do a sequel if they let me,
Right. Right.
but only if I have a good idea.
So what happens with Wally? Does he?
Wally
he
goes
gets
with
on the arcs.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing is we
I guess
have
that
like
makes
we only have
sense.
like a hand wavy showing of the arcs, so we don't know
Right.
who gets on the arcs. So there could be more characters from like tie-in and sequel series to a set. Plus, what about Dr. Fate, Constantine, and Zatanna? What are they gonna do?
Oh yeah.
What about
that's right.
Wally just being like, you know what? Let's just build a treadmill and I'll fix this through time travel.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
that's the thing is that
friggin' Wave Rider's not going to stop him.
no, but also we're dealing with like a crack mirror version of DC. You know, we're picking and choosing continuity. What if there is no cosmic treadmill? What if there
Right.
was no Earth 2?
Right. I didn't realize Wonder Woman literally cut off one of Superman's arms as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So he had his arm cut off and he was stabbed through the chest with the sword, but
Right.
he's still like
He's still kicking.
yeah.
Well, now
But
he's going
but
to be in the sun.
Well, now he's gone to the sun, so I guess he healed his wounds or whatever. From
Well, I don't think he's going to
absorbing.
be able to grow a new arm, but he will at least not die.
Yeah.
No, I'll just put myself in a sun coma.
The question is, does the sun burn out the anti-life equation?
Right.
Because it's kind of like a
No.
twisted version of All-Star Superman. That's DCeased. I think it's dope. I'm anticipating a sequel.
Right.
There is a tie-in series, like I said, coming out right now that's just filling in the gaps for this.
Right. It's not going
Now,
to
it tells you
what
about
happens
Gordon
after this.
and like how, man,
That whole ending about Cyborg just getting his head like knocked off.
That's very zombie movie.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, there's hope.
if that's how it
No.
ended, that would
Oh,
suck.
there was hope all the time.
Yeah.
Damn.
But that wasn't, but also people got away. So it's like,
It's not
okay.
that bleak.
Right.
It is dark,
Yeah.
and it embraces the genre.
Right.
But it also isn't just like a misery fest.
If it was a misery fest,
Yeah.
the arcs would be taking off. They'd be exploding as
Yeah.
he
Yep.
watches it, and then she would knock his head off.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Superman
that
would have
would-
destroyed the arcs,
Yep.
and Victor would have found out that he was the cure right before he died.
Yeah.
Yes.
He would have Starship Troopers it up, fire a blast through one of the ships. The ship crashes into the other ship. They both explode.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at some point, I guess Denise Richards get topless. That's all I remember from Starship Troopers.
She doesn't get
She doesn't
topless
get
in that
topless
movie.
in that movie. It's the other one.
You're thinking of Wild Things.
Yeah.
Nah, whatever.
Well, you're thinking of
Dizzy gets topless.
yes, who is Dina Meyer,
Dina
who
Meyer gets
was
topless.
Oracle in the
Birds of Prey!
Birds of Prey show.
There you go. Bring it all around. DCeased. It's in the description. Buy it. It's great. Right now, I think it's only available in this beautiful hardcover, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, it's
So why not?
It's also sensibly small.
Yeah.
Like it's a regular-sized
Yeah,
hardcover.
it's nice. I like it.
It doesn't need to be huge. It's just fun. See you guys next time with an all-new episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
So long.
But the fact that like she's controlling plants and the plants get blood on them, it's
Plants
not like the
can't
plants are
get
going to
infected,
turn.
right?
No, you
Zombie.
don't get zombie plants. Also,
Plants
she's
don't
using
even have blood. Won't
Right.
get infected.
They're chloroplasts. I don't know.